Hello there, welcome to another show. Today, this is going to be a brief one. This is me looking at two Henri-George Clouzot films, or one by him, one about him. The first one is Mystery of Picasso. This one was made in the 50s and basically is Clouzot filming Picasso paint, really. That's the whole thing. Is every so often you get to see Picasso like in the flesh, and he explains what he's doing, but most of the time that's not really what Clouzot's interested in. Clouzot's interested in filming the brush strokes, the paint strokes, how paint will evolve through time. So what he does is he actually has a light going through the canvas so that, and there's no backing, so basically he's seeing the what's going on in the canvas as Picasso paints through the other side of the canvas, and then you can just flip it so you can see what Picasso's seeing. It's a very hard to do technique. I'm sure it wasn't the easiest thing for Picasso to deal with, but the thing was you actually can see the brush strokes and the drawing strokes and everything else as the paintings get done, or as the drawings getting done. So that's how Clouzot did it, and basically about 2/3 of the film is actually the paint strokes, the brush strokes, as Picasso paints. You get some music with it that helps the pacing basically. It's only an hour 20-minute film, it's very short, but he goes through a lot of paint. It's not like you're watching something very slow, it's not like watching paint dry, it's literally he's doing the painting. So he starts off with very basic pictures. I mean, the first half of the film is Picasso doing what would be sort of minor Picasso. He's not trying anything ambitious, he's just showing the basic brush strokes, how he builds a painting, how he uses his style, because Picasso wasn't about realism, it was about the feeling you got through how they paint and how the background and the foreground, how everything came together. It was really about the craftsmanship of how the painting made you feel, and it wasn't really about trying to paint something to give an approximation of life. It was more about how the painting made you, the expression really of how the painting actually gets to you. But he does basic stuff to start with, so you get an idea of how he does it, how he puts it together, and how he paints over certain things when he realises he's made a mistake and all that. So it shows Picasso, it's not everything's perfect, he does it in his own way. And then as we go into the second half, you see Picasso create more ambitious, he wants to try more ambitious things at this point. So he starts painting and then he changes most of them, and he changes them so much, it's very different. It's very interesting to watch because you see him painting and then you think, oh, that's nice, then he just gets rid of it and just paints over it with something else, and paints over something else, and you see the painting evolve to become something that wasn't planned. And the whole idea of this thing of this film is it shows how art isn't pre-planned, it's based on the instinct. You start here, you get some instinct of where it's going, then you add to it, and you take it away, until you actually find what you're really searching for. And it's not an intellectual process, it's about it's a craftsmanship of knowing what's interesting and what's not, but it's also the knowledge of, you have to feel what the painting needs, and that's very hard to get across, because usually when you see it in films, it's explained but it's never really felt. You always feel it's very lacking, and it's an approximation of something, it's not getting into the detail. But this film actually, if you actually pay attention, sit with it for the hour and 20 minutes, you actually get the feeling of, this is how art works. You can't just put like scenes on a board or plan it all out and then do it. You have to actually have an idea and then slowly evolve with it, and it might be completely different from what the original idea is. Because in the later paintings he tries one thing, one style, and then he just changes his mind, realises that doesn't work, he changes something else, then maybe change it back, but he still try to work out what he's doing. So this is a must see. I mean, Mystery of Picasso is a must see. You can probably get it in sale somewhere. It's from Arrow. There's some good extras as well, but I haven't really watched the extras yet. But the film itself is wonderful. I mean, if you like art, it's a must see. And if you're interested in how the artistic process happens, this is a film to see, because it's the one artist who does something in film, making a film, but another artist who just does it in canvas. So it's really something. Okay, now the other film we're going to talk about is Inferno. This is not a Clouzot film in itself, it's a film about a film, Inferno, which Clouzot did a lot of pre-production for, started shooting, and then it fell apart. Now this was Clouzot after Les Diaboliques and Wages of Fear, and he'd made a lot of big films, and he was one of the French gods of cinema at the time. He was like, he could get money from America and they would indulge him to experiment and try things here or there. This is going to be a big art house personal film. This was like a film that all directors want to do, but most of them don't have the clout to do, because no one sees them as commercial enough. Everyone thinks it's self-indulgence. You can't afford to spend that much money in a film. But Clouzot was so big at that point, he had so much weight to him as a director, that he could actually be allowed to be self-indulgent, to be indulged by Columbia, to give all his money, to hire stars, and to make this film, Inferno, which is about a man's jealousy. That's all it was. It was basically a character piece with not much plot, and what was going to take it up a notch and make it interesting was the stylistics that Clouzot was going to do. Like, he was going to have the realistic elements in black and white, and whatever the husband imagined would be in colour. So whenever you saw the husband imagine, we'd be using all these new like 60s techniques, which now look kind of dated, but at the time this was trying to push the style of cinema and try and do something unique with cinema. But it fell apart. He fell out of his lead actor, and from the film it seems like he tortured the guy quite a bit, so he wasn't blameless. And then he had a heart attack. He recovered, but after that the film couldn't be made, so because the location they only had for a short time, and after the heart attack there was no way they could go back to that location. So the film was done at that point. But what the film does, this documentary shows you what this footage is shot, and the actors reenacting scenes they never shot, that he had in the script he was going to do, would fill in certain gaps so you could see what the film was meant to be, even though there's only little bits and bobs of the film. There's also all the experiments he did. He did months of experimentation, and he tried different things. He had all these colour schemes worked out, which were very interesting, very odd. But the thing is, if you actually watch the film, it's very 60s. It's really a 60s idea of what being far out actually is and what experimentation actually is. It's very obvious, you know, let's mess with the colours. That's how we're going to do it. But it's also fascinating. I mean, I'd love to have seen that actual film. I think it would have been a really interesting film. I'm not sure it would have been a good film. It looks like it would have been a very self-indulgent cult film, because it seems like the narrative from what we were told wasn't that strong, and the effects were what was going to carry over, and all the weirdness of it was going to carry over. And apparently, like, Clouzot kept on reshooting scenes again and again and again, and not caring about the budget. I think because he'd read a script that wasn't going to work. I think he had to realise that as he was in filming, that he hadn't worked everything out properly, and he needed to actually keep working on it. So he had all these top crafts people working on it with him. He was driving them all nuts because he kept on changing his mind and redoing things and not seeing why he needed to be redone. And a lot of people on standby waiting. There was lots of fights. There was arguments. And it looked like he was taking his frustration out on some certain actors, especially his lead man. And it just looked like a disaster. Like, he hadn't done the prep work he needed to do to start with, and he was given too much money. But it is a really interesting documentary to see a director going wrong. I mean, it is like watching like A House of Darkness, the Apocalypse Now documentary, where you see a film that actually got made, but there was lots of really horrible self-indulgence there. This is a film that got made, and actually, no, this film it didn't get made, but you actually saw why it didn't get made and why it fell apart. And it has that same feeling as Apocalypse Now, where they're trying things, they're really trying to push things, but some pre-planning would have probably helped avoid certain things. Instead, they'll try to be artists, and the purest artists, because could be. Okay, the reason I bring the first film up, the Mystery of Picasso, is I think Clouzot was influenced by Picasso and how he did things and how he improvised throughout, having a craftsmanship and then building upon that and using his instincts. I think he was trying to do that with this film, trying to make a personal film that was doing things different. But he wasn't that kind of director. He needed a script, he needed a plan, and he couldn't really improvise. He wasn't really that kind of person, so it created a disaster. So it was one of those films that you can just see it. It would have been just fascinating to watch, but it's fascinating to see also see how it fell apart and why self-indulgence from Clouzot destroyed it. I mean, there's no other way around it. He chose that lead actor who he said might be a problem. He chose a location that was very difficult and had limitations. He tried a style that was not his normal style. He did everything he was told not to, and it all fell apart. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you see both of these films. They're both terrific. They're really wonderful films. They're really worth seeing. You really should try and see them if you can, because they're both very short, but they're fascinating about the artistic process, how it goes well and how it goes badly. It really is wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.